Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network, brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos Tequila is brought to you by those who drink it. We come to you on this Friday night on the Mike Francesa channel on the Bet Rivers Network on YouTube after Ohio State's win over Texas that sets up an Ohio State ND national championship game a week from Monday for the whole thing. Notre Dame winning their way in last night with the 3-point win over Penn State, and then in a game that was a strange game, in a lot of ways, a strange game. Ohio State with the sack and the strip and the return for the touchdown broke the game open. I mean, Texas is sitting there with 4 minutes left with a first and goal on the one. They don't score to tie the game. And then next thing you know, they get the turnover and the score for the 28-14 win for Ohio State. Now, I picked Ohio State, but I did not think Ohio State played particularly well this evening. Their defense did a good job when it had to. This was a strange game on a lot of levels. Number one, you knew going in that Texas was going to have to find a way to take away Jeremiah Smith. They did. Also, there's a feeling, and I don't know because I did not see definitive video of this in the first quarter. There's been a report throughout the game that he was injured early in the game on a collision. I do not know because they did not show me video evidence of that collision. That was a report. Now, he only caught one ball for 3 yards in the statistics. He did catch another short pass that was negated by a holding call, but they took him away, made them go elsewhere. They went elsewhere. And let's be honest, this was a game where you take away a couple of huge plays, and Texas is right there. Now, Ohio State was its own worst enemy at times in the game. Henderson with the 15-yard penalty. How many times did they get either a holding call or a personal foul that negated big plays for them in the game or negated drives for them in the game? They stopped themselves a lot in the first half, but when they score and tie that game at 7, they're going into the half, and you're thinking Texas is in good shape here, despite the fact they have injuries to their 2 best wide receivers. So Texas takes Smith out of the game, and Golden's got an ankle problem and their 2 best receivers have ankle problems, so they got to throw the ball to the backs for most of the game. But they're right in it. But the 75-yard, which was just an in the first half screenplay, they were not expecting that to break. What they're doing is they got a couple of seconds left, throw a safe screen, see if we can get something out of it. What happens is the blockers get out in front perfectly. Guys get caught in the wrong places and take the wrong angles, and Henderson goes 75 yards for a touchdown with a play that was designed to go 5 yards to end the half. A devastating blow from Texas, but they come back and they get the game tied. And then Ohio State goes ahead, and then Texas is down on the 1-yard line with a first and goal, and they can't get in the end zone. Give Ohio State credit. Give the Ohio State defense credit, led by Jack Sawyer, because of the fact that they have been a great red zone defense all year. And that it showed itself again. They had penalties down there. They threw them for losses down there. They kept them out of the end zone, and then on 4th down, they get the sack, get the strip, and end the game right there. So the bottom line is Ohio State did not go to their home run hitter tonight, but they made enough plays to win the game and made plays on defense to win the game. Texas was in there all the way. Howard wound up 24 of 33 for 289 and a touchdown. Henderson at 42 rushing. Hey, Texas did a great job against the Ohio State running game. But that 75-yard screen pass killed them. Absolutely killed them. And they win on a night when Smith goes 1 for 3. Tate goes 7 for 87. And Henderson goes 75 on one play. The tight end catches 5 balls. I mean, the other tight end catches 2 balls, so they go 7 times to the tight end. They went elsewhere all night. They went to Igbuka for big plays. The bottom line is they stayed away, and when they forced the ball to Smith, they got picked off. That was the bottom line. So they were going to make sure Smith wasn't going to beat them. And again, we'll have to see the follow-up of did he get injured early in the game? We know that was completely hampered at the wide receiver position from really the start. Golden comes out and gets the big play. He makes one other play in the game. He got the 24-yarder with one hand early in the game, sprains an ankle, and tried to play on it. And they didn't get a whole lot out of their big receivers. They had bad drops. They did get plays out of Blue, out of Helm, out of Wisner. But the strip, them keeping them out of the end zone, and then the strip was the difference in the game. And Ohio State goes on to a 14-point win that really wasn't a 14-point win by any stretch of the imagination. Texas was just outgained by a handful of yards in the game. They did a good job against the Ohio State running game. Ohio State hit some plays with other guys, especially that 75-yarder, which was crippling. When you realize that they get a 75-yard touchdown at the end of the half, and then a incredible play that goes 83 yards for a touchdown at the end of the game. Take those 2 plays out, and Texas is right there. Right there. Now, we're set up for the national title game, which will come your way a week from Monday. Notre Dame against Ohio State, which will be it will light up the middle of this country. It will light up the Midwest unbelievably. It will light up Big Ten country. It'll light up Chicago. It will be a big ratings hit. There's no question about that. Notre Dame, Ohio State for a national championship is a big time game. And that will be Monday, January 20th at 7:30. Ohio State. And off the bat, I think this is too high. Ohio State has been installed. What I'm getting right here is a 10-point favorite in the game. 10-point favorite over Notre Dame. I think that line is way too much. I think Notre Dame matches up well with Ohio State. I think their defense is opportunistic. Their offense can make enough plays. They are very good in the secondary at shutting down a key guy if they want to. They can give up big plays. We know that. They've been vulnerable to that all year, but they have the personnel, if they play Smith right, to do exactly to them what Texas did to them. And they play a lot more man coverage. Texas doesn't. They do. But the key is the health of a couple of Notre Dame guys. But this resilient, really opportunistic, clutch, defensive-minded Notre Dame team, I think matches up really well with Ohio State. And I think this is a really close game. I would grab 10 points with both hands. I don't see Ohio State blowing them out. I do not. And I'm surprised the line is that high. I really am. I mean, it surprises me. I would think it would come down from there, but it surprises me that it's 10. It really does. I did not think it would be that high. Very surprised, as a matter of fact. So Notre Dame not getting a tremendous amount of respect in this game, with Ohio State being a 10-point favorite. And again, to me, too many points. I think this game will be closer than that. And I think that Ohio State I think that Notre Dame has a chance to win this ball game. I did not think Texas would beat them tonight. And actually, this game was at times closer than I thought it would be. I saw some vulnerabilities in Ohio State tonight that obviously were not there in the last two games when they were overpowering against Tennessee and against Oregon. I mean, they led Oregon 34-0. This game tonight was a fight. They did not run the ball with abandon. Their quarterback was under pressure at big times in this game. So I thought Texas did a good job. I thought they did a really good job. And if they don't turn the ball over, which has been Texas has turned people over all year, but they also have turned the ball over all year. They've made critical mistakes in big spots. They were without their big wide receivers tonight, and they still were in this game. They were right there to send this game into the final minutes or into overtime. Ohio State could not put them away until they got the scoop and score that broke the game open. And think about it. They got an 80-plus yard touchdown on a defensive turnover, and they got a 75-yarder on what was really designed to be a first half ending. Remember, Ohio State's getting the ball to start the second half. They're flipping that out there. It's a safe play. That play's not designed to go 75 yards for a touchdown. That was a gift. Now, give Ohio State credit for execution. Give Texas a lot of blame for letting that thing go the distance and not having somebody down the field to be safe when there's 20 seconds left in the half. That you can't give up a touchdown there. You can give up a big play. You can't give up a touchdown. And amazing. Now, Ohio State does win without Smith doing anything. He was taken away, but that opened up avenues for especially for their third receiver, who became the leading receiver in the game tonight. Not their second receiver. Their third receiver became the leading receiver in the game tonight. Cornell Tate, he became the big guy. And Ohio State is tough on defense. They're tough in the red zone. They're resilient. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take Notre Dame's best game to beat them. But I think it matches up to be a close game, and I like what Notre Dame brings to the table in all three units in this game. A resourceful quarterback who will use his legs. A running back who's going to get enough time now in Love to be healthier for the game. And they're going to have to utilize their tight ends and also face on more than they have in the last two games. I think he's critical. He's slippery. He can do a lot of things inside. They've got to use him better in the passing game than they did in the last game. I think it's critical that they do that. Because Notre Dame doesn't have that killer receiver like Ohio State has. But they have an opportunistic, very, very opportunistic team that plays all three facets of the game. Very dangerous on special teams. Very dangerous in blocking punts. Very dangerous in returning kicks. Very dangerous in being opportunistic on defense. And that team is a team that is a good team that plays great. And those teams are dangerous. And I think they deserve to be the underdog. Ohio State deserves to be the favorite. But I believe that getting Notre Dame in 10 points is extremely, extremely dangerous. I thought it would be 6 or 7. I did not think it would be 10. I have to admit. I thought it would be 7. I did not think it would be 10. I'm very surprised. And I would think it would not go up from there. If it does, there's going to be, I would think, a very good amount of Notre Dame money around, because I think they've earned that without any question. They can stay in this game against Ohio State. I really would be surprised if they didn't. They really are made to stay in this game. And I would expect they would do that. And I think it should be a very interesting matchup. And as far as two storied programs, it is as good as it gets. Having Notre Dame, having Ohio State, and for the first time in a while, not having Georgia or Alabama. dominating this thing is a big, big positive, I think, in the long run, to not have them in this game and not have them dominating this thing. To have an Ohio State Notre Dame game, I think, is a big positive. Now, I understand and really believe Notre Dame should be the underdog, but I think they are a very live one, as a matter of fact. Very live one. Now we move on. We move away from college football. We get ready for the championship game, and there's going to be plenty of time and build up for what should be a terrific national championship matchup on the 20th. So there's 10 days for everyone to kind of rest up and get ready for a big game. We get ready now to move into the 3 days of college football. I mean, of NFL football. We know that the Ram game has been moved to Arizona. So here's what we have as we get ready, and we'll be on each day after the day is concluded. 2 games tomorrow, 3 games on Sunday, and then the game on Monday night. Chargers are still a 3-point favorite over Houston. The Ravens are now a 9.5-point favorite over the Steelers. The line has come down a little bit. Bills have stayed where it was at 9. Philly has gone up to now they're a 5.5-point favorite over Green Bay. Tampa has stayed at 3. I haven't seen it move an inch the entire week. It's still 3. And Minnesota is now, because the game is in Arizona, Minnesota has jumped to a 2.5-point favorite. Now, I knew that was going to happen. I thought that game was sitting at pick in LA on Thursday. I thought the game, when they moved it, would move towards the Vikings. It has. I wouldn't even be stunned if the Vikings were a 3-point favorite at game time. They're now 2.5. But I don't think I think the Rams would be tougher in their own building, but I don't think it is a killer that they're playing in Arizona. Is there going to be more Minnesota fans in the building than there would have been in LA? Yes. First of all, it's not the Rams' home field. Secondly, I doubt that many people were trekking to LA if they had played the game there. Nobody wanted to go near California right now. So, but yeah, you understand why they had to take the game away from all the horrific stuff that is going on in the state of California and in that area with the fires, which, are just so tragic when you watch them. The loss of property, the loss of life, everything that's going on there, it's just devastating. Devastating. So the people there have a lot more to worry about than just the Ram game, but the Rams and Vikings will be in action on Monday night. We'll be with you, as we said, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night to get ready for and get you ready for the next day, and also put a ribbon on that game's action. Big games. Nothing like the NFL playoffs. Nothing like these first 2 weeks where you get doubleheaders, a doubleheader, a triple header, and then another game, and then doubleheaders Saturday and Sunday next week. The games will dwindle down to a precious few very quickly in the NFL. So enjoy them. Starting tomorrow, 4:30 in the afternoon, as the Chargers and the Texans will get the playoffs underway. We'll see you tomorrow. Come on.